Alright, so today I'm cleaning my entire car. I finally have a day off, so I'm going to spend a lot of time with my car. And the reason why I'm holding my light is because I've always had moisture in my light, and now I'm taking it off. I'm going to figure out exactly how to get this moisture out. But I don't know if you can hear this or see it on camera. This light is completely filled with water, which just kind of makes me chuckle. I didn't know it was that bad. But we're going to pull it off, which I already pulled it off. We're going to fix the seal, and then we're going to put it back, and hopefully this won't happen again. Alright, so I've taken the light off, and what I did is I used a lot of compressed air to get most of the water out. There's maybe a quarter of a tablespoon and teaspoon in here, but once I get this sealed properly, the light that hits this tail light will get rid of any of the water. There's just little bitty dots, just a little bit of water in here. But when I dumped it, not knowing how much water there was in here, when I dumped the water out of here, dump being the word, there was probably 3 cups of water in here without exaggeration. And I looked up on a bunch of forums, and apparently this is not an uncommon problem. Apparently it happens a lot in 2011 caliber. So the more you know. So what I'm going to do is, instead of taking it to the dealership and having them replace it, which is kind of unnecessary, if I can fix the problem myself, I'm going to go ahead and do it that way. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put silicone between the actual reflective plate and the plastic casing. That way no water at all at any point in time will get in here. I don't know if, because I never had to replace a bulb in here yet, so this is the first time I pulled this up. I don't know if the casing was just not fitted properly. The light, that's usually the number one, it's usually the first reason what would happen is the light here, it's just not fitted properly in the actual casing, and what happens is water will pour, will get in there, because I don't know if the light can pick it up, but there's this trim right here, and this actually overlaps the top of the light. So unless the light was just loose and wasn't properly fitted in the casing, the only thing I could think of, because there's no cracks or anything like that in the light, I looked all over it, is just between the casing and the reflective plate. There's just a little bit of a seal that has failed. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go over the entire perimeter of the light, and I'm going to put an adhesive seal, a silicone. And you can use clear, use white, whichever one. It doesn't really matter. As long as you do a really good cleanup, no one's going to see it. So what I'm going to do, got my light here, I got my my adhesive, and just between here, this is the reflective plate on the top, just between the reflective plate and the casing, that's where we're going to put, that's where we're going to fill, we're going to put this adhesive in. And I'm going to use a good amount, because I'm going to level this out and really pack this silicone so that I never have this problem again. Because if you're going to do something right, if you're going to do something, do it right the first time. So I don't have to pull this out again and then redo everything. So I'm going to kind of pack it in with my finger. I know you can't see this, but it's just kind of a pain doing it, having to hold it up, but essentially you get the idea. Kind of fun. So, I'll show you what I got going on here. So this is obviously without the cleanup, though I will not leave this like this, but as you can see, this whole I don't know what you would call it, this whole bridge, this gap right here is completely filled with the adhesive. So I'm just going to come back quickly because it dries pretty fast. And what I'm going to do is after I'm done doing this, I'm going to leave this light out just a little bit because I've got the light bulbs out of it. And so it'll still dry. I'm going to do this off camera, do the rest of it, and then I'll show you what else I'm going to do, because I'm actually kind of excited to get to do this, because it gives me an excuse to, so crazy I am, it gives me an excuse to, I'll show you what I'm talking about here, so I'm not alone in this discussion. There we go. I pulled it off and I was like, oh goody, look how dirty this is. So it's funny, I'm just crazy stupid like that, but all this dirt and stuff like that, there's no possible way on this earth that I could put this light back on and feel totally okay about this. So I'm going to get in here and I'm going to clean it up, and I'm going to put it sealant in here. Again, a spot nobody ever sees, but I know, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't put this light on here without cleaning this up. I'm going to clean it with probably some just citrus cleaner, and then put some sealant on there so it just doesn't catch all this dirt. So I'm going to go ahead and fill the rest. Just back on here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fill the rest of this light, and then I'll come back in just a second, and I'm going to show you what it looks like when it's totally done and cleaned up. Alright, so the light's done. Let me show you what I've done. And I'm going to look at it, and I might still clean it up a little bit, but this is what we got. Pretty good job, actually. It came out pretty well. This stuff dries really fast, but again, I'm going to let this sit for a little bit longer. But the entire perimeter of this light is now sealed tight. So any kind of any kind of faulty gasket or anything like that is now backed up by a really thick wrap of this silicone. So the next step is what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and let me go ahead and move this camera. Is I'm going to clean in the light socket where the light goes. Now, obviously, because they're electronics, I don't want to put a lot of water. So what I'm going to do, and I'm using all Ammo products on my car. I'm going to use Ammo AP Citrus Cleaner. This is really good. This citrus cleaner, which first of all, I'm not a fan of any kind of all-purpose cleaners. I'm not a fan of them. Then just because of the fact that each piece of the car is made with different kinds of material, anything from the door jambs all the way to seats and interior and things like that. And I don't believe in saving a buck and not being totally honest with what you're doing. All-purpose cleaners, there's no such thing. It'll either not clean a certain thing, or it'll dry something out, or it won't, put a film on this. There's just not a chemical out there that's good for everything. Everything has its own pH balance. Everything needs certain attention. Some things you can be a little bit more tough on. Other things you need to be a lot more delicate on. So it wouldn't make sense for me to use an all-purpose cleaner on the leather and think that would totally be fine, on door jambs that have mildew on it. Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense. It's just not going to work. So, but the cool thing about this actually is an all-purpose cleaner, but it's a citrus all-purpose cleaner, and it's pH balanced so that it is actually safe to use on everything. And a couple good things that it's good to use for is things that just kind of need a little bit extra kind of a kick. I still use different things, different chemicals on it if it's needed. But it's good for engine detail, door jambs, maybe if you have like a stain, tires, rims, bug removal, those kinds of things like that, just to help kind of break down some of that stuff. But this is what I'm going to use today. So just because, again, the electronics, I'm going to do just a couple squirts, and then I'm going to actually take my detail brush just to kind of get in, and I'm going to actually spray the brush itself just to kind of get in some of the areas without having to actually spray. Another really good thing about these, thing that I love about these ammo products is that they actually give off a really good scent. They don't have that real strong kind of, that real strong chemical smell you get from some. I love using my steamer on interiors, especially more than chemicals. The least amount of chemical I can use on the interior, the better, because there's nothing more irritating, not irritating, but there's not a bigger turnoff than getting inside of your nice cleaned car and just smelling really, really strong chemical. It's just kind of really takes away from the feel of a car. So that looks pretty good. And now I'm just going to come down and wipe it down. Hey, I got the light out. Why not? You know, why not clean this area? Clean it so it doesn't get bad. Maybe the next time I got to change a light or something. Make sure I get some of these tight gaskets. I believe if you take care of what you got, it'll take care of you. You know, do this kind of thing to your car. It doesn't just want to break down on you one day. You know. So. Alright, looking pretty good. Now I'm going to seal it. Alright, so I'm using Ammo's version of the synthetic sealant. It's called Skin Defense Coat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little on a applicator pad. Oops. Sorry, it's really windy out here. And the only purpose of this is not to protect the paint as much as it is just to prevent if there does get some dirt or anything in here. All it does is just to kind of help it, help the removal of it, so that the cleanup is a little bit easier next time. That's all this is really doing. As well, I guess, as protecting the paint. Why not? Get under here where this is going to lay on top of. Alright. So. Alright. I'm just going to give it a quick wipe down. Alright, that's it. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually clean the body of the light. And I'm not going to spray, hold on just 1 second. I'm not going to spray or, you know, wash it down real heavy. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my brush right here, give it a few squirts, shake it off, dust it off on my leg real quick. That way, if there is any left over on the light, it's not a huge amount, because I'm not going to be able to get in all these cracks and crevices, but And again, I'm sure some of you out there going, why is he doing this? Nobody sees this stuff. Yeah, I get it, but why not? I got it out here. It's only going to take a couple seconds, and I'm allowing the silicone to really dry. So, you know, why not take a few seconds and, you know, take care of what you got. Alright, so, there you go. Brand spanking new light there, right there. Good looking, I guess, what would you call it, light jam? Good looking light jam there. And let it dry a little bit, and then I'm going to reinstall it.